So good girl. I'm gonna shoot a video now, okay? Is it okay? Hi friends, welcome back. If this is your first video, my name is Esty, and I am documenting my all-in journey here on YouTube. For today's video, I'm going to answer some of the questions I have received from you guys who have been watching my videos. Thank you for all the sweet messages. I thought I would answer a few of them on a video because I've been kind of getting the same questions. One of the questions that I have had quite a few times is whether my weight has stabilized and whether it has redistributed. I am still struggling very much so with my body image. I don't think I've completely redistributed. What I will say is I think I have reached a plateau in my weight gain. I think I've really not changed much in the last 2.5 months. I think that's largely due to the fact that I'm just not as hungry anymore. I find I'm getting full a lot more quickly. And also in the beginning, I craved so many more sugary things and kind of food that I had not allowed myself for years and years. And that's kind of tapering off because, believe it or not, once you allow yourself all foods, they really do start to lose their novelty. It's hard because I see myself, I feel still so differently, and I don't know that my weight has redistributed. I feel like it's all kind of gone to my lower body, a little bit in my arms, but mostly I carry all of my weight gain in my thighs and my booty, which some may argue is a great thing, but my thighs have always been an area that I've been self-conscious about. So I'm kind of tackling the self-love on that front, but we're getting there. So whether my weight has stabilized, I don't think that I've gained any more weight in the last 2 months, but I've not lost any. So my body's pretty happy right now where it's at. I don't own scales, so I don't actually know how much I've gained in this all-in process. I actually don't even know really how much I weighed in my tiniest because I haven't owned scales in years. I was going based off of how my clothes fit and pictures, which also, if you have issues with body dysmorphia, pictures can lie. I actually had a doctor's appointment about 2 weeks ago now, and it was my first time at this doctor, and it was a gynecology appointment, and they asked to weigh me, and I was a little taken aback because I just didn't expect to have to be weighed. And I asked the nurse weighing me not to tell me, and I actually turned away from the scale because I didn't want to know, because it would ruin the rest of my day, no doubt. It would trigger me, probably, most definitely. So I was just happier not knowing. She was kind of confused, but you know what? Stand up for you. And I was pretty proud of myself. I even texted my husband from the waiting room. I was like, I got weighed and I asked not to see it because it's just not worth it. So throw out the scales. Just go based off of how you feel and remember why you're doing this. You're not doing it for a number. Another question I've had is about exercise. I actually talked about this in my last video, but I'll kind of I'll kind of revisit that. I cut out all HIIT exercise, like high intensity exercise, because I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was definitely doing it because I wanted to change myself aesthetically and not doing it because it made me feel good. Saying that, I am doing yoga and Pilates because I enjoy that style of movement and I need movement in my day. I've always needed movement. I'm just that kind of person, and I don't sleep well if I don't move enough in the day. So I am still moving, but I'm moving in a way that I enjoy. Another question I had was, how long did it take for my hunger cues to stabilize? I was so worried when I went all in that I would just want to eat and eat and eat forever, and I would only want to eat the bad foods. And that's just not the case. When you start allowing yourself everything, you don't want it as much. Shock horror, I know. I would say it happened for me fairly quickly. I came from mostly a bulimic past, so I was used to eating and, compensating afterwards. And then when I went all in and I was eating but not compensating, I was full and I didn't want to eat anymore, and I didn't want to sit there feeling uncomfortable. So I would say that this happened within the first month. When I knew that the food was there in the kitchen for when I wanted it, I didn't feel like I had to quickly shove it down my throat because it was not going to be available to me ever again. Once you fully allow yourself food, in my experience, my hunger cues very quickly stabilized. I think I still struggle with food at certain times and feeling like, well, it's not noon yet, should you be hungry? And I have to constantly be like, no, you know, if you are hungry, your body's not a clock. It doesn't know that it's noon, it doesn't know that it's 6 o'clock. It doesn't know that it's 9 o'clock. If you're hungry, have a snack, eat a meal. Another thing that I struggled with was eating more than people around me. Your body is not gaining weight based on what they're eating. Your body is its own human being. You have your own needs. And that is something I have been really working on. If I want dessert and my husband does not want dessert, that's okay. And I feel like I've tackled that in the last 3 months especially. We don't eat the same thing 24/7. Another question I've had, which I feel so deeply, is how do you deal with other people's opinions on your all-in journey? This is your journey, 100% your journey, and if people don't understand what you're doing, that's on them. That's not on you. I'm doing this because I needed to fix my relationship with food, and I needed to fix my broken metabolism and to regulate my cycles, and some people will not understand. I have hundreds of pictures and photo shoots and clips of me where I am tiny, and people can look back at that and be like, well, why did you want to give that up? Was I happy? No. Do I sometimes miss my smaller body? Yes. But I also know that I was always struggling. Even when I was at my tiniest, I was mad at my body. So you're doing this for you. The hardest thing for me actually is I constantly feel like I have to explain myself, and I'm trying to deal with that too. And especially when I'm meeting new people, and I'm living in a new place right now, and you know, I want to make friends. And I find myself trying to justify how I look, and that's silly. And I kind of go through my head like, oh my gosh, they're gonna know this version of me, but that's not the real me, and I'm gonna look the way I used to look. No, you're doing this because you were trapped then. I think what I've been really struggling with is I feel like I'm in costume, if that makes sense, and that I feel like justifying like, oh, don't worry, you'll see the real costume soon. And that's such a bad mentality to be in. So I'm really trying to tackle that. I'm still me, regardless of what I look like externally. And the last question I had was, do I regret going all in? No, not at all. I do wonder at times if the world had not shut down, would I have done it? And I don't know that I would have. So I'm so grateful for this time to properly heal. And yes, there's days where I feel like giving up, and I have this thinking of, I could so easily reverse this. And anyone from an eating disordered past, they can have those thoughts. I can so easily fix this. And right now, I'm living in this body that is so much bigger than I've ever lived in. And every day, I'm really, really, really working on loving her. I have put this body through so much pain. It's time I devote a little more love. And that sounds so cheesy, but truly, I don't regret it. I don't regret it one bit. I finally am starting to feel completely comfortable around food. And when I'm full, and I stop, and I don't keep trying to make myself uncomfortable, I'm full. Or when I'm still hungry and I don't understand why I'm still hungry because I just had breakfast or I just had a snack, I eat. Because every day, your hunger is going to be different, and that's something I've really learned. Some days you're more hungry, some days you're less hungry. That's just life. Yeah, no, I do not regret it one bit. If you have any other questions, please message me or comment down below in this video. I'm loving hearing from other people that have also gone all in. It's really helpful to me. It's so great to speak to people that really truly understand what you're going through. I wish everyone a really happy and healthy new year. Let's put 2020 finally behind us, and just remember to be kind to yourself. It will get easier. This is a message to me too. It will get easier. I will see you all in 2021.